A high-ranking administrator for both Dalton and Thornton Township is charged with fraud connected to an alleged bankruptcy scheme.
The village also completed negotiations with the police patrol, police lieutenants, and the sergeants.
Right here you see Keith Freeman, who sits next to embattled Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, discussing finances at a recent village board meeting. The U.S. attorney accuses Freeman of concealing assets and incomes from his creditors. He faces up to 5 years in prison if convicted. We reached out to Freeman and various Dalton officials, but have not yet heard back.
So it's all coming out. As you know, Keith Freeman, trustee for Dalton, Illinois. Well, he has he does a lot. He's like her top aide. There's a lot of things that he does with Tiffany Henyard. He's been indicted by the Feds, right? The Feds has brought him down. And she's had multiple cronies on her side where that's coming down. So I told you guys, I showed videos of her, as I told you guys, locking out employees. We've seen her before she even became the mayor, arguing with the old mayor. I mean, just very belligerently arguing with the old mayor. When she was a trustee, we saw that she had a police record. We also saw that she didn't like to actually do background checks on the people that she would hire. So you have this guy, Keith Freeman, who's known as a career criminal. And I'm gonna show you that in this video. But you also had Andrew Holmes. Andrew Holmes is a guy that's part of her regime. And he's out here doing all kinds of wild stuff and has all kinds of allegations in Chicago. But not just that, he's doing this.
For his work as a crisis responder helping victims of gun violence, Andrew Holmes has also served for several years as a trustee in the village of Dalton. Holmes is now named in a civil lawsuit filed Monday by a Dalton police officer and former member of Mayor Tiffany Henyard's security detail, as well as a former village employee who believes she was sexually assaulted by Holmes. We are withholding her identity because of the nature of the allegations, which are now, according to 4 Dalton trustees, part of what former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot will take on in her new job as special investigator into Mayor Henyard's tenure.
She will be looking at it in a civil manner to give the board an idea. This is not a criminal matter that she's looking at it from that perspective.
The complaint says the alleged incident took place during a trip to Las Vegas in May of last year that included Henyard along with various employees from the village and Thornton Township.
And then we get to the headliner of this video, and that would be Keith Freeman. Keith Freeman is a well-known career criminal. And the people of Dalton knew this. The trustees knew this. Tiffany Henyard herself knew this. But she still hired him. She still put him in position. Oh, man, it gets crazy with this Keith Freeman thing. But you have people now on the internet really pulling up his background, really exposing him. Check this out.
Freeman, he's been in and out of trouble since he was a young person. He was charged for theft in 2000. He was charged with a felony in Iowa when he turned 27. This was back in 2005. Theft in the 2nd degree. Oh, Keith is a busybody. He has a long rap sheet. He never cleared up his charges because back in 2011, he was in Palm Beach, Florida, where they extradited him back to Iowa. They said out-of-state fugitive. Fugitive from justice. That's your boy, Keith Freeman. Because we all know Tiffany Henyard made a big fuss about not giving background checks. And this is one of the reasons why she didn't want to give a background check. Because anybody that works for municipal department or the city can have felonies. And I'm pretty sure they can't have theft. He's a nationwide criminal. He's been in Iowa. He got caught up in Chicago, Kentucky, Daviess County, Kentucky. He's been in Palm Beach, Florida. All these are appearing on his arrest record. How in the world are you filing for bankruptcy, not able to pay your bills? You live in an apartment. That's what I found out from his bankruptcy. He lives in an apartment, probably not so expensive apartment. You're collecting money from the village of Dalton, and you're also collecting money from Thornton Township. So you're making about $150,000 a year. I'm pretty sure it's more. He's saying that he only works for Thornton Township. Your income. Thornton Township municipality manager. Gross income $5,800. Now, I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, but from the payroll expenses of Village of Dalton payroll, Keith is on here. This was just in October. Keith Freeman, $3,800 every 2 weeks. And he claims that he only makes $5,800 from Thornton Township. Employer's name, Thornton Township.
But see, with all that information that's being given now about Keith Freeman, it gets even worse. Because the former chief of staff of Dalton for Tiffany Henyard, somebody that was really on the inside, that worked with this guy, seen this guy every day, that worked with Tiffany Henyard, this is what she had to say about Keith Freeman.
Self-righteous individual I have ever met in my life. Her administrator, let me be real clear, Keith D. Freeman is even worse. I had proof that they told us to not come to the board meeting for the trustees. I had proof. He emailed us and said, if we came to the board meeting, you know, because the board meetings were slipped and mixed, we would be fired immediately. He went into my email and wiped it. He went into my email and wiped it. I only had, when I quit, 20 emails between the two of us. And if I'm the chief of staff and he the village administrator, we talk a lot, right? He wiped it. He came in and said, I need to get rid of the communications director, the former communications director. I said, you might not want to do that because he's good at what he do. Guess what? He went and told him, I'm gonna bring somebody else over you. This person has zero experience. He didn't even know how to work a Zoom. He didn't even know how to send an email. He don't know how to make a flyer. He don't know how to do anything relating to communications, but I'm gonna make him over you. This man who's quite literally a college level professor. Of course he quit. But then guess what? Keith Freeman went and told HR, send him home now. So the next board meeting come up. Now everybody's being muted because the guy he got don't know what the hell he doing. So I had to step in. And then Keith also told us to mute everybody off of Facebook. Any negative comments, delete them, block them, get rid of them. Delete them, block them, because she don't want to hear it. It's not about you. Rule of thumb when it comes to marketing, 101, who are you marketing to? The consumer. You may not like them shoes, and you sell her some. But guess what? At the end of the day, it ain't about you and what you like, right? It's about what she like because you're trying to appease to your residents, your consumers, the people who vote for you. So this is stuff I'm telling Tiffany, right? And that's just the first part. Now, things I've seen, I can confirm that she and he told us to hold the warrant list from the trustees. You know why? She said, because we are at war, and how do we give our opponent resources to help them? War? And I'm saying this in front on camera, recorded, said she said it, I was going to oath. War. We are at war. I can't give them anything to help them. FOIA requests. So the media reached out and they wanted to know about the withholding of the FOIA requests. Keep in mind, they come to me because I'm HR, right? This is what I do. I'm the HR PR. I reached out to Shantae. No, I first reached out to Jimmy. Even though Shantae is technically a corporate attorney, I learned that from Kiana. And I'll get to that story in a second. But I went to Jimmy Vasali. So I emailed him, he didn't call me back. So I called him, he didn't call me back. I ended up calling Shantae. I said, the media is reaching out to me about some FOIA requests they ain't getting responded to. Y'all know y'all ain't did this. He told me to write in my statement, the clerk has not turned it in. Can't do that. Now, guess what? I have text messages of what he said to say in this phone, because I did everything from my personal phone for a reason, period. So he said, no, you're going to say the clerk refused to give you the information to turn in. I'm not going to say that. I'm not finna go lie on this lady. She looked like my mama. I'm not about to say that. And that's it, that's all. And then I realized that I'm hearing on a conversation, Keith is going into the deputy clerk's email. Then he hung up on me. I said, did he just say? So yeah, you know what I did? I went right to the deputy clerk. Watch your email, boo. Because he's in it. Because he took IT ability, keep in mind he has IT background, to have access to the back, the back door, the back office, wiping out the emails so you can't use them against him.
So this guy has been indicted for bank fraud, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff that's coming down, and things that he's lied on. Listen, he lied about how much money he made. And see, this is the thing, right? When you got Keith Freeman, and he's like her top aide, and he's getting locked up for what he's getting locked up for, and then you had a bunch of misappropriated funds, you have a bunch of money that's not being shown, that was actually spent, where the trustees have the receipts. This is an indictment. See, she's going to be in a lot of trouble, because if this guy is in trouble for lying about how much money he made, right, in order to make more money from somewhere else, and Jesus Christ, man. The stuff that goes on and the corruption that goes on in these cities across America, man, and the people of Dalton and the trustees did a good job in holding her accountable and calling it out. So, like I said, we had this situation with the CARES nonprofit and what they were doing there. And they didn't even have the proper paperwork, but they was taking money from people. So that chip is going to fall. So you have Lori Lightfoot investigating them, and then you have Andrew Holmes. He's there, and he has the charges. But y'all remember when she came under fire when she hired that guy, and he was going to his job. I forget what his job was, but I know one of the trustees said his job, he was going to people's homes, and this guy did 26 years in jail for SA allegations. Yes, 26 years. And she hired this guy, and they said that she didn't like to do background checks. She believed that I believe that people should get second chances. But if you've been in trouble for certain crimes, like Keith Freeman, he shouldn't have been nowhere near around the money. He should have been nowhere near the positions that he was in, knowing that he's been in trouble in different states across America. Why would you hire a guy that did 26 years for SA? Huh? This lady crazy. So I know for a fact when the feds come in, and they started to really invest in their investigation, they found all kinds of foolishness that's going on. $160,000 for that Tahoe, money spent around the country and doing stuff, and she's not showing how she spent it. Man, it's great. This thing great get real crazy. And I really believe that Keith Freeman and Andrew Holmes ain't the only two. She got other people helping her behind the scenes. And her former chief of staff alluded to that and spoke about not just the allegations, but Tiffany Henyard's attitude towards stuff, man. But as more of this come out, I'll report more of it. Listen, this thing is crazy, man. If you made it this far in the video, leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, and remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.